Hello, Gael Scoil. My name is Billy Donahue, or Mr. Bill. I am an Irish tin whistle player, and I'm so happy to be here and showing you my instrument that I play. Now, just for a little background, I play in a band called the Shanties. That's the name of my band, the Shanties. And we've been playing together for quite a long time, probably older than most of you kids have been alive. I've been playing Irish music since 1999. Out professionally, and I've been with my current band. We started together in 2001, so almost 20 years on the road this year. I play an Irish instrument called the tin whistle. Now, the tin whistle is a very old Irish instrument. It's one of the oldest Irish instruments around. And the reason it's called a tin whistle is because the original ones were made out of tin. So that's what a tin whistle looks like, okay? These are also called penny whistles, and they're called penny whistles because they used to literally cost a penny. And even to this day, they're still very, very cheap instruments for an introduction instrument into Irish music. So if you bought a fiddle, it would be a lot of money, right? If you bought an accordion, it would be a lot of money. Well, guess what? You can get a tin whistle just like this one for very little money. And that's some of the things, this is some of the reasons why a lot of Irish children, even to this day in Ireland, start on the tin whistle. It's an introduction instrument, but you can also get a lot of different instruments that are also tin whistles that look very different than your normal tin whistle, which is this one. So remember, the tin whistle, let's just go over this. It has an end here, which has it's like a fipple end, which is like a flute, but you put your mouth on the end and you blow, and I'll show you that in a little bit. And it has 6 holes. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 holes on a tin whistle, okay? And the way you hold a tin whistle is you take your 3 fingers and you hold them on top, okay? Your left hand, the 3 fingers go on top. Your right hand, the 3 fingers go on the bottom. Now that is the traditional way to play a tin whistle. There are some whistle players that play it what's called goofy-handed. It's like if you're a skateboarder, you can ride a skateboard goofy-footed. Same thing as a tin whistle. Some people prefer to hold it this way. But your traditional way to hold is left hand on top, right hand on bottom. Okay? Now you can blow into this end and it'll make a note like this. So when you blow in it softly, it plays on a lower note. So it's nice and low like this. Okay? If you blow into it harder, it plays a higher note like this. Okay, so depending on how you blow into the whistle top is what note you're going to play. And a lot of songs go from low up to high. So that's how it works. Okay, so when you go from a low note in music terms, that's called going up an octave. An octave, that's what that's called. So you go from low to high, all right? So before I play you a tune, or teach you a tune, I'm going to show you how different forms of the whistle can look, because there's many different whistles that you can have. This is your traditional whistle. Your traditional whistle nowadays for Irish whistles has a green top on it, and it has a brass colored body. That's called a Walton's whistle. Most of these are made by a company named Walton's. So that's your traditional whistle. There's also, and this whistle is in the musical key of D. D as in dog, D, okay? So you can get different kinds. Here's one with a blue top, okay? Same whistle, just a blue top, okay? Here's one with a black top, okay? These are all the key of D. Now this whistle gets fat up the top and goes down at the bottom. That's called a tapered D whistle. Again, you can have different colors. Here's a gold whistle. Okay? All the same key. Now, all of these whistles that I'm showing you here are around $12 or less. So they're not very expensive, okay? They're about the price of a couple Happy Meals at McDonald's. You can have yourself one of those whistles, okay? Now, when you play tin whistles like I do in a band, sometimes you want better instruments. So they come in better instruments too. I'm going to show you a couple of those. Here's one here. Now that tin whistle, same size, same D whistle, okay? But this whistle costs a lot more money because it is made professionally. It comes apart, okay? So you can pull it apart. You can clean it out if you need to. And this is a whistle that some of the major whistle players in Irish traditional music would play, okay? And I'll show you a tune on this. This is called a Burke whistle. This is my favorite whistle in the key of D. So let's try a tune on this, okay? This one's called the Siege of Ennis, okay? It's a very popular dance when you go to an Irish ceilidh, or you go to an Irish show or a ball. A lot of people get up and do a Siege of Ennis, and Ennis is in County Clare. That's where it got the name. So let's give it one time through. And this does get loud because it goes all the way up to the third octave. It goes 3 times high. And there you have it. That's called the Siege of Ennis. That's how you play it. You see how my fingers move really fast? My fingers move so fast because I've been doing this for many, many years. It takes a lot of practice to get from the very beginner stage to where I'm at. All right, let's show you a few more whistles, okay? So whistles can be made out of metal, like these ones, or tin. They can also be made out of plastic, like this whistle. Okay? This whistle's also bigger than the other whistle, so it's in a different key. This is in the key of D, like a dog. This is in the key of C, like a cat. Now, again, you can have different whistles. This is also a D whistle. See, that's a lot thicker. It's real wide on the end. This whistle's a lot louder than the other whistles I have. This whistle's a plastic whistle. Here's another plastic whistle, just a different color. Okay? Key is C. Let's play a tune on that so you can maybe hear the difference. I'm going to play a tune called The Foggy Dew. It's a very famous song in Irish history. Okay? And there you go. That's in the key of C, like a cat. So the other one was D, like a dog. The bigger whistle is C, like a cat. See how big it is? It's bigger. It's lower. It's quieter. And it's C as a cat. And that was called the Foggy Dew. Okay? So again, similar. Same type of whistle, just different colors. Okay? Here's a different type of whistle. This one has a fipple end, like that, but it's sideways. Now, this is a very old whistle. A person in my band found this whistle behind a wall when he was knocking a wall down in his parents' house. Now, his parents' house was built originally in 1900 or 1905. So this whistle's about 120 years old. And you play this one sideways. It's a fife. And so he gave the whistle to me. So I'll show you really quick. It's the same thing. See how that plays sideways instead of from the end, okay? That's a very old, very rare whistle. It's over 100 years old, that whistle, okay? That's probably the rarest whistle I have. It was found behind a wall in a house. He put a hammer through the wall and out came the whistle. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. You better believe it. All right, now we get into stages. So they're regular type whistles. Now we're going to get into what's called low whistles. Now, low whistles are big whistles, real big whistles, okay? So let's look at one. Let's compare the size. Look at that. Now, that's a low whistle. That's in the key of A, okay? Then I also have another low whistle, which is bigger again, in the key of G. Okay, so let's look. Regular whistle. Look at the size of that, huh? Now a low whistle just sounds lower. It takes more air, so you have to blow into it. You have to use a little bit more air, okay? But it's a very nice whistle, and they sound very nice when you play them. And I'll show you a quick song on this, okay? And you see how low that sounds compared to this one. You can hear the difference. A low whistle, lower, sounds lower. It's a beautiful whistle, okay? Now, we're gonna get into the big whistles. I'm almost at the end here. I have some really big whistles at the end. You think this one's big? Wait till you see these next two. That can't even fit on the screen. That is called a low D whistle. So it's twice. That's a regular whistle. That's a low D. Okay? You want to hear what the low D sounds like? I'll play that same song. That's called The Star of the County Down. And I'm going to end up by just showing you how to play that really quick. You hear how low that is? That's very, very low compared to this. Can you hear the difference? That low whistle. That's a very, very nice sounding whistle, okay? I got this one in Ireland when I was there 15 years ago. I bought this in Ireland. And I still have it. And it's still just as good as the day I bought it. So I got one more whistle to show you, and it's the biggest one I have. And this one is a low C whistle. It's one of the biggest whistles in the world. You want to see it? Look at that. I'm going to go sideways. There's my low D, and there's a low C. Okay? That's a gigantic whistle. Look how big that whistle is. Really big. Hear how low that is? Hear how low that is? So we're going to try a song. So that's the biggest whistle I have. That's called a low C. You could literally take this whistle and fit it right inside of there. It goes all the way down and all the way out. That's a gigantic whistle. Okay? So, what did we learn today? We learned about the tin whistle. We learned that your normal whistle is in the key of D like a dog. That's a normal whistle. This is your standard whistle. They're both the same whistle, just a different color. Standard whistle. Whistles get bigger as they go. That's a key of C. And bigger again. That's the key of A. And bigger again. All the way up to these two. Big, gigantic tin whistles. Okay? They're super fun to play. All right? And the last thing I'm going to do is just show you how to play a quick tune. So we have our fingers on here, and we move our fingers off of it as we play. And this one's called the Star of the County Down. So watch my fingers. Okay, let's try that again. We're going to do a little higher. I'm going to try a different whistle for this. That one's a little clogged. Sometimes the whistles get clogged. So there it is. That's how we do it. It's 6 holes covered, then 5, 4, all the way up to the top hole you go on that one. Okay? So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you're having a great Gael Scoil. And I hope to be back next year to teach you another lesson. I play other instruments besides the whistles. I play a funny sounding instrument called the bouzouki, which is like a guitar and a mandolin. And I can play the bouzouki, and I can sing too. I'm a singer in the band as well. So I hope you guys have a great Gael Scoil, and I will see you hopefully next year. This is Mr. Bill, and my name is Billy Donahue, Mr. Bill, and I'm in a band called the Shanties. So I will see you next year, and hopefully you enjoyed my whistle lesson. Thank you.